Can you become fluent in Russian in 30 days? The answer is no, you can't. If you're a native English speaker or speaking a Western language, then most likely you are not going to become fluent in Russian in 30 days. Especially if you define Russian fluency as being able to work in or live in Russian or work with Russian companies, then your level of Russian, you cannot do that in 30 days. You're going to need more time for that. But what you can do in 30 days is set yourself up for fluency. And this is very important to understand because if you can get the basics down, like take 30 days to really get the fundamentals down of the Russian language, plus build solid habits that will then move you forward, you can set yourself up for Russian fluency. So how do we do that? We'll discuss that in this video. Давайте начнем. So we need to get the basics of the Russian language down in 30 days. So how do we do that? First of all, it's very important to understand that you need to learn a good amount of words, a good amount of vocabulary. And I'd say approximately, like in this first month, like 500 to 1,000 words. Because these are the words that, if you really look down to it, they're the words that are being used the most. Of course, you also need to learn, words outside of that. But if you focus your attention first on learning these 500 to 1,000 words, that will basically be the basis of you speaking Russian. Because, for example, think about words, grammar, think about everything that basically consists of Russian. If you do not know any words, you cannot speak. If you do not know any grammar, you can still point at stuff and speak the word. So words are very important in the beginning. So the second part of these first 30 days is grammar, because grammar is also very important. And if you can get the basics of grammar down, if you can grasp the basics of the Russian grammar in those first 30 days, that will set you up for success later on. So what are the most difficult parts of the Russian grammar are verb conjugation and cases. Verb conjugation is basically that there's a verb, like for example, the verb знать. It's like, I know, я знаю, you know, ты знаешь, he knows, он знает, we know, мы знаем. You know, plural, вы знаете, and they know, они знают. So this is important to understand. And the thing is, you don't need to completely understand this, but at least get it to a basic point where you can say it right most of the time will work fine. Cases, on the other hand, it will take more time to understand that than just 30 days, but if you can kind of grasp the basic things, how cases work, plus get them correct for the simpler cases, then you'll also be on your way to speaking well. Like cases are, for example, if you take the word машина, which means car, and you go through all the cases, like nominative cases, машина, accusative cases, машину, genitive cases, машины, dative case is машине, персик нельзя, персик. Дуже neat. Prepositional cases, машине, same thing as the dative case, and then instrumental case, машиной. If you understand those things and kind of how to use them in the sentence, then you'll already get very far. The third part that you should focus on is that you'll be able to have basic conversations already. And that means you just need to practice Russian every single day. You need to practice speaking every single day. That's because many people, they kind of make the mistake that they focus on vocabulary and grammar in the beginning because they go to regular classes, and they kind of forget about speaking, or at least they practice it a little bit in classes, but not enough in order to really, get over the speaking barrier where they feel comfortable speaking. And if you already know a lot of Russian, but you cannot really use all this knowledge to speak it because you're uncomfortable or maybe a little afraid to speak, then this will only get worse over time because you'll learn more stuff and you're like, oh, why can I still not speak? At a certain point, you just need to speak a lot. Like, I really like the metaphor of this thing that you kind of need to, there are 1,000 mistakes that you need to make before you can become fluent in Russian. So the faster you make all these mistakes while speaking, the faster you'll become fluent in Russian. So if for some reason you're putting off speaking before you've learned a little bit more, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, because the only way to get towards speaking well is to speak a lot. So be sure to practice speaking in those first 30 days. The fourth thing that is very important during those first 30 days is you got a lot of correct input from the Russian language. Now, what do I mean by that? I just mean that you just need to listen to correct Russian. And you can do this in plenty of ways. You can listen to music, though music is a little bit more advanced. I would recommend just watching Russian movies, Russian TV series. If you find them difficult to understand, of course you find them difficult to understand if you just started learning Russian, then you watch them with Russian sound so that your brain can really listen to Russian and you kind of get a grasp of where a word starts, where a word ends. But you watch them with English subtitles so you can still understand the plot and that it's still fun to watch. Because if it's not fun to watch and you completely don't understand anything, then of course you're not going to continue watching. So you can also, and Since this is fun, you can spend like half an hour to an hour every single day doing this because it's relaxing. You're probably watching some series or movies every single day anyway, so you might as well take that time and switch it to Russian movies and series. It's a very easy way to practice more. If you're a little bit confused how to actually take all these elements and put them into one system, I highly recommend you check out my 30-day conversational Russian challenge, link in the description, because it will take all these elements such as vocabulary, grammar, speaking, alphabet, and listening to Russian and put them in a single step-by-step system that you can follow every single day. Link in the description. Highly recommend you check it out. Спасибо вам огромное, что вы посмотрели до конца этого видео. Я желаю вам удачи с изучением русского языка. Пока-пока.